Summer 2026 has to have been one of the most unproductive summers in my channel for a while. But you guys, it's crazy in these streets. I'm just glad I'm uploading. Yeah, I haven't been doing the best job of getting through my reviews, and I'm trying. I'm not gonna completely talk myself down. I'm trying to. And anyways, I can't believe it. I only tried out like 10 palettes between May and June, unless I forgot. And I know there were some palettes like I was using multiple times. I think I might have even used stuff in like Shop My Stash and I like forgot to put on my list. So these are the 10 new releases that I used in the months of May and June. And I'm currently in July, so I'm working on making my list of July palettes so I can rank them at the end of the month. Feels like the end of the month is almost here. I know that as the end of the month approaches, there are some new launches coming, so it'll be interesting, no doubt. But today we're going to focus on June and May, and I'm going to show you guys everything that I have here ranked. So if you made it through that painful intro, let's go ahead and get into the rankings. Okay, I'm just gonna pull it off like a band-aid because there's really no bad palette in this ranking video. I tried pretty much all new products. I'm basically ranking these because of color story, how I felt about the packaging, how I felt about mostly the color story and what spoke to me. So yeah, no shade, no tea to anyone if these were like collabs or to the brands themselves. But we're gonna start off with the 10th spot, and I'm gonna give it to BellaBeautéBar and their collab with Freya. I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised. This is just not a me color story. I will say some of the shades, some of the metallics in this palette did surprise me because there are some beautiful like duochrome, multichrome shadows in here. So they're not all dark and dreary. That's my opinion, not a fact. I just feel like these shades are very cool tones, so they're not like my favorite. I did really love the look I created with this palette, but am I going to reach for this a ton? Probably not. Does BellaBeautéBar have amazing eyeshadows? Yes. Does Freya have amazing skills when it comes to makeup? Also yes. But two things can be true at the same time. I can support women-owned brands and women content creators and collaborations, and also, you know, respect my own right to not love cool tones, and that's okay. So this is in 10th place. In 9th place, I'm going to give it to the Simply Posh Strawberry Picnic palette. Had an unfortunate incident with this one because when I filmed my look with this, I forgot to hit the record button, you guys, and who's surprised? I haven't found the time to actually sit and do another video with this palette, so I do apologize because it was my own fault, but I'm also giving myself the grace. It's still in the back of my head that I need to do a look with this palette, but I did use it, and it definitely reminds me of other Simply Posh palettes that I've used. The formula is very similar, and I will say I think this is such a fun theme, and on the outer packaging, I feel like they could have really taken it there. The pictures, like the campaign images they used, were so fun, and I think they really sold it to me in that sense. I definitely plan on making more time to play with this palette, but I think it's such a fun color story because if you break it into halves, we've got like a fun red palette right here, and then we also have a fun like green palette with some neutrals as well. So I know a lot of you really love Simply Posh, and I am so happy to have this, and I will definitely try my best to get a look done with this because I feel like such a bad YouTuber right now. I also usually like to move over so I can put any videos I have of like reels and stuff I've done, so I'll try and sit over here. So in 8th place is the Summerween palette from Gourmande Girls. I will say I really like the quality of this palette. Again, I'm ranking this in the 8th spot because the color story is a little chaotic for me. I ended up doing a neutral look with this palette and I thought it was absolutely stunning. But I will say the color story is a little chaotic. So if you're into very monochromatic looks and palettes where you don't have to think too hard about what shades go together, this might not be the one for you. But if you love chaotic energy, I feel like you will really enjoy the Summerween palette from Gourmande girls. Okay, in 7th place, I think this might be the best chrome book they've done. This is the Dede Signature Chrome Book Volume 3. They've done 2 others. If you want to see the video where I think I showed these side by side, check out my Dede Signature video with this palette. But I think this is my favorite color combo they did. I really like the neutral mattes here. You can really do so much with that. And they did a really good job with this palette. So I'm ranking it at number 7. In 6th place, I'm going to give it to the Oden's Eye. This is the Luminous Shadows palette. And this is a neutral palette. And when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be that interesting to me. But if you're into kind of like those beautiful minimalist vibes, but also you can do really fun punchy eye looks with this palette. The first eye look I did with this palette, I was really surprised because these neutral shades are so fun, and I think you could actually do something pretty similar to the look I have on today with this palette if you wanted to do something like a little bit more sunset. And the neutrals are fun, the shimmer shades are really fun. I am a big fan of Oden's Eyes, but I actually thought this palette was better than I had expected it to be. In 5th place, I think I'm wearing a look with this palette in my recent eyeshadow palette collection and declutter video. I actually filmed it as a reel. I still haven't edited it because why? Everybody say it together. Karen sometimes hates editing because it is so mind-numbing to stare at yourself on a computer screen. And also Apple took away the trackpads on, what do they call it? Like the touchpads on the top of MacBook Pros. And now there's no way for me to fast forward myself talking. So it's just like mind-numbing for me to edit. But someday I'm going to learn how to use Final Cut Pro. That's my plan. Anyway, so I have a video. I have a little reel that I filmed with this one. I haven't posted it yet. I'm ranking this kind of in the middle because I think the quality is really nice and it is a big old rainbow palette, but I'm also asking myself the question, like, is it that creative to have a rainbow palette? And I don't think it is, but I think the way that I would rank this is pretty high up when it comes to really solid mattes and some shimmers as well. If you want a really colorful palette, this is the way to go. Okay, in 4th place, this is such a cutie palette. I had so much fun creating looks with this. So this is Cosmic Cove from Fantasy Cosmetica and Multichromatica, and I had so much time to explore this palette. I had a lot of fun playing with it, and yeah, they did a really good job. Love the color story. It's kind of got some chaotic energy, but I definitely feel like it was easier for me to put looks together with this palette than the Summerween palette. Maybe that just speaks to my skill level. I am but a regular mom on the internet reviewing makeup, so yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun with this palette, and I think that this really stands out to me. It reminds me a little bit of the Urban Decay Electric palette. I think I said that so many times in the videos talking about this palette, and I don't think that's a bad thing because I don't think Urban Decay is coming out with the relaunch of the electric palette anytime soon. So if you missed out on that one, check this one out. It is really good. In 3rd place, I'm giving it to the Huldra palette from Singe Beauty. Now, I really, really love Singe Beauty, of course, and Angie's one of my dearest friends. I will say this is just a little bit grungier, so it's not gonna beat Agate Temptation. I love the brighter greens in that palette. Obviously, they can't do the same greens in every palette, so I get where she was going with this one. But I'm going to rank it at number 3 because I love Singe's formula. I think this is a fun color story and I love this packaging. It's such a cute vibe. It has like a tarot card vibe to it and I'm here for it. So that is number 3. And then in 2nd place, I kind of gave it to a palette that has half a palette that I really like and then half a palette I could have lived without. It is the Psilocybin palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and I think this is basically like those warm tones that I just love so much. And this side is more of the mushrooms in nature, and this is more of the you're tripping in mushroom side. So it's a very cool palette. This is the cover art. Let me just show you really quick because I opened it before I started talking to you guys, so you didn't get to see the packaging. But this was such a fun collection from Blend Bunny. And at the time I'm filming this video, they just announced they're doing Flora and Fauna with May, and that is just so cool. It's really fun. You can tell the collaborations that did really well because they're getting around too. I think that's so cool. And the pictures from their new palette and the campaign looks amazing. So I believe that palette is, I think those two palettes are actually on their way to me. And I also ended up ordering the Dollhouse palette from Blend Money. So I feel like I'm repeating, was it May when they came out with this palette? Yeah, I feel like I'm repeating May because they bought back the Blends palette and launched a new collection in May. And now it's happening again where they redid the Dollhouse palette and they're also coming out with a new collection. So when that Blend Money package gets to me, I'm going to be very, very busy. Don't think I'm going to have as many eyeshadows to swatch this time, but I'm very, very excited to see both of those new palettes in person. And then number one spot, I don't think any of you guys are surprised. I am so biased for these colors. So it would take a lot for me not to make this color story number one, but I have to give it to the Mystic Gleam palette from Oden's Eye. I was drooling when I saw this palette in the emailer they sent when they were getting ready to send this out. I was like, oh my god, give me a green and blue palette. I feel like things always go in cycle in the makeup industry, and I just like live for the days a few years ago when blue and green, especially green palettes, were so in. So many brands were coming out with these color stories and I miss it so much. So happy to see that Oden's Eye gave me one of my favorite color stories is green and blue, and there's a little bit of purple in here too, so it's the perfect amount. I love this palette. I really love the formula in these palettes. So if you think the Luminous one is too boring, check out Mystic Gleam. Honestly, Luminous, whatever that other one is called, surprised me. It really did, because I thought it was going to be boring, but it really, really surprised me. So I'm happy to say that this is my number one palette. Okay, friends, so that is it for ranking my May and June palettes. I feel so out of body right now because usually I have monthly rankings because I'm ranking so many eyeshadow palettes at the same time because I've been testing out new things, and I definitely have been doing my best to keep up, but I definitely could have included more palettes. But I've also been trying to be more intentional with the things that are coming into my collection. So yeah, I'm still trying to find balance, but I am very excited. I'm actually wearing a new palette on my eyes today that hasn't been announced yet, but I'm sure it's coming soon. So if you happen to stumble upon my channel, I need you to do two things for me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Actually, three things. Give this video a thumbs up and also comment because it really helps me look good in the algorithm. I would also like you to watch a video that I filmed recently called My Eyeshadow Palette Collection and Declutter 2026. That video has given me a bit of a spike in the algorithm, and so I finally cleared 14,100. I think I hit 14,100 a while ago, and I did lose a bunch of subscribers. So hopefully we're on our way to 15,000. I would really appreciate anything you guys can do to help me with the algorithm. And I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys in another one very, very soon. Bye, friends.